Hey everyone, so this video is kind of a continuation of a video I had previously made. I don't really remember which one it is. I think it might be the how to fix the entire support class, or maybe the Overwatch 2 doesn't suck video. I'm not really sure, but you guys should go listen to both anyways. But yeah, I touched upon this topic a little bit, and it was more, it's a conversation that the community has been having for a while, even back in Overwatch 1. And essentially the question is, should the game be balanced based off of what the best players are doing so that it trickles down to the rest of the other, the rest of the player base, or should it be balanced for more of the average players, since that's where most people are? So there's a larger influx of players into Overwatch 2 now that has definitely brought down the standard of or like the average kind of rank that the players are in right now. I think Blizzard told us that the average player now is like silver, so let's keep that in mind as we kind of go through everything. So yeah, with that, let's begin. So guys, I'm gonna be blunt here. I'm gonna argue both sides, don't worry. I'm gonna kind of see what each side has to say and kind of what Blizzard's mentality kind of is, but I'm gonna be blunt here, and I've been blunt before. Balancing for low ranks is literally impossible. There is nothing you can do to make things even or fair in like those lower tier ranks, because they're just gonna do whatever they want. It's almost like I don't want to say chaos, and I'm sorry if the way I sounds a little high and mighty, or like condescending, I guess, about people of a lower tier, but I think that's what the conversation is for, right? But I just don't think it's possible to balance for low skilled players. Here's an example of how crazy things could get in the lower ranks. This is an example off the top of my head. So I have literally seen Reinhardt's on the Oasis city center map leave their team. Like, the team's kind of like trying to, let's say, get into a fight or something, but leave their team, go around the back on the jump pad, charge as they hit the jump pad, and literally skyrocket through the air like Radon in Elden Ring into the spawning area of the enemy team, shatter the team from behind, and kill everything. Kill everyone. Like you can't balance for that. And it in any other rank, mid, gold, and higher, that simply would just not work. Maybe if you get lucky, you shatter one person right on top of them, and then 3 people are gonna shoot you in your back, and you die. But like, I have not just only seen this multiple times. Back when I was a low level player, I've been the victim of this so many times, and like the shock and awe, like you can't even react. There's like no, everybody's crazy. There's like no counterplay, and it's oh god, the memories. There's so many things like that back when I was like bronze and silver. So let's step back for a bit. First, I want to go over the topic or the concept of what a control variable is. For those of you who don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you do know, because I think they teach this in like high school or something, so everybody here is like, I think my average viewer is like in their 20s. So a control variable in an experiment, when doing research, is essentially some sort of standard that is kept consistent, so you can compare all the other variations of the same experiment, so you can tell how different variable tweaks change the results of the control. I don't want to get too much into detail because of the length of the video, but I feel like that is a decent explanation. So it's like what you compare all your other results to, right? Because that is the base. Yeah, it's like a nice rock. So yeah. Anyways, the reason why you can't balance for lower ranks is because there is no consistency. You have nothing really to compare your results to, because everyone's just gonna do what they want. We also need to remember that many people rightfully complaining about the game are the best of the best, like the top 1 or 3% of players. The other 90% of us are not that high up there to be that annoyed with certain balance issues we don't like, because they don't affect every rank equally. In high ranks, the tiniest margin of error between the balance of 2 characters will be exploited to like the upteenth degree, because those players are devilishly good at the game. That is the best way to see what a character can do when they're played optimally. That is your control variable. Now, to go back to the topic of who the game should be balanced for, in my opinion, I think it should be balanced for the best players because honestly, even up to decently high levels, everything is still viable. You can play Ryan all the way up to like high plat, low diamond. If I'm being honest, you can do that pretty well. If you know, I think up to high in the game, from my experience, you can get off of by mechanical skills with like any character all the way up to like platinum, and then that's where game sense starts to kind of start trickling in. When you get into diamond, that's when you really need to know the game, and then after like mid diamond, that's when you don't even have the choice. You just have to play meta. so yeah, almost everything is viable all the way up to like low diamond. After that, you almost have to play a certain way, or you're just gonna lose. Well, yeah, yes or no? Because I still kind of play Doomfist, but that's because I have essentially kind of just one tricked him for like the longest time. So I have like put all my stat points into him. Yeah, that's a different video. I think I'll post that video tomorrow. Anyways, I remember there was an interview with Jeff, the former Jeff Kaplan. He's the former director or something, and he was talking about how everyone was complaining that the only viable meta was dive. This was several years ago, maybe 4 years ago or something. And he was like, everyone's complaining about dive, but nobody who's in diamond or lower is actually playing dive. They think they're playing dive, but they aren't even doing the proper, the proper movements, the proper steps or sequence of actions that would actually be considered dive. It's just a bunch of people just kind of jumping into the fight and they're calling it dive. Now he said it in a funny, kind of condescending way, but it was true, and I found it funny because I was one of those people complaining about it because I was trash back then, and me and all my friends were trash, and we're like, okay, let's play dive, and we're just doing nothing. We have like a diva flying over there, then Zenyatta. We don't even have a Zenyatta on the team to like put on the squishies in the back line. Like it was just dumb. I was Doomfist, of course, so I was just kind of jumping in, killing anything. So yeah, I wasn't at a high enough level that my only option to win was to play the meta. Like I wasn't at a high enough level to even be doing these high level plays that the pros were, complaining about. But I at that point of the game, at least for me, that's when you can just play and have fun. Again, because up to diamond, you can do anything you want, and you can play any character you want, and if you're good enough, you're gonna win. Harder with support characters because they don't really carry like that, but you get what I'm saying. And honestly, like if you go into the mentality of somebody like who's, let's say, in bronze, right? The average player is in silver, so I guess what is it? Half the other people are in bronze, half the other people are higher than silver. So if you look at the mentality, let's say you're in bronze. Let's say just do bronze. If I'm in a bronze, like is the mentality like I'm in bronze and it's the game's fault, so they should change it for me? Like no. If you're like at that low of a level, there are just many mistakes you're making that you can fix completely with just your skill and practice. You can literally climb up to platinum with mechanical skills alone. After that, the game's nuances and intelligence kind of kicks in before you get like really far. But you can get really far. The responsibility is on the individual at that point. You have every tool you could need to be able to climb, right? You have all the options. You literally just need to play more and just get better. People at the high end of the game, however, do not have any tools to get better. They have mastered all the skills and are at the complete mercy of the game's design. No amount of practice or more game intelligence can change that. Well, not 100%, because we do have people like we get Quaked on, who got to, I think he got to number 1. He not just top 500, but I think he literally got to number 1 with Doomfist before. I think before, no, it was after the buff, after the nerf, after the buff. Yeah, I think he got to number 1 with Doomfist, and that's the meta we were just in, where Roadhog was a fucking nuisance. So yeah, it's literally the best way to collect data on a character is what I'm saying. Like when every character is playing their best optimally, you can see how you stack up. It's the type of data even a lower level player would want. And if you have that standard or that control group, when people at lower levels complain that, hey, this character is broken, or this character needs a buff, or all this type of stuff, you can literally just say like, no, you think that because you're just not good enough with that character, because the people who are the best at the game are able to make everything work. It allows a player at lower levels to have at least some guidance and literally see what they're doing wrong and where they need to improve. Like, let's look at Genji. At lower levels, Genji just murders everyone, but at high levels he really kind of sucks. And why is that? At lower levels, people don't know how to track that well. Genji dashes and double jumps and it's like, oh, where do you go? Whoa, what's happening? When at high levels, because everybody knows how to track, you pop your Genji blade, and unless you're bubbled or Suzu'd or nanoed, you are slept, killed, or just stopped completely. Look at Ryan. At lower levels, he's crazy strong. Why is that? People haven't learned positioning yet to stay away from his hammer, because we all know that once Reinhardt gets into a fight, he could kind of just kill everything. So what does that tell you? Get better at positioning. Tracer, at lower levels, when she rewinds, you completely lose track of her. You're just like, oh, where's she gonna go? I guess she's gone. This also kind of goes with Moira too. But at higher levels, and you can see this in some of my videos, like I literally know where she's gonna be when she rewinds. Like, and I stop, I look where she's gonna come back. I charge my punch and I punch, and as I'm punching, she appears there, and I punch her like immediately as she arrives. Why can I do that? That's because of practice. If you allow the best players to play in an even playing field, it literally shows you what you need to do to get at that level. Hey everyone, I'd like to interrupt this video to remind you to like and leave a comment. It's the best thing you can do to a video so that YouTube increases its reach, and I'd really like to keep growing this community, especially since we have so many good discussions and debates in the comment sections, and I do read and try to reply to every single comment. So please like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you like it. But yeah, for the algorithm, please like and comment. You literally have the option at your fingertips to beat what is beating you, if you're not Grandmaster or something like that. It is in your control. Just get better skills, play better, get good at positioning, aiming, all the basic stuff. It's all in your control, is what I'm saying. And again, people at high levels, they've already done it, so they are just completely at the mercy of the game, like the way it's designed. Now, here's why I think Blizzard is having trouble balancing things for people at the top. I don't think it's actually a balancing mentality issue at all. I don't think the problem for them is, do we do it for more people, or do we do it for the higher rank? Like, where is it more effective to balance? I think it's actually just a money thing, because most people spending money on the skins and the game and the monetization system that they have are more casual people who are not at the super high ranks. It's just a sheer numbers, issue. There are so many of them that they are the group that you have to keep happy so you can keep getting their money. Look how long it took them to nerf Sojourn. It took forever. Why is that? Well, Blizzard told us she's not that OP at lower levels, where the majority of players are, so it's not a priority. And in contrast, if little Jimmy is sick of getting sliced up by Genji, while he's playing Ana, he's just going to stop playing the game and stop giving them their money. So why don't we just nerf Genji again instead of telling Jimmy to learn, Ana survival combos? It just guarantees that he'll stay happy and, keep spending money. So anyways, there you have it. Balancing at high levels allows you to have a control group, because no matter what the meta is or what the balance is like, people at lower levels are just going to do what they want to do. It also allows you to see what you're doing wrong, because if there's a problem, you can just kind of see how the pros handle it and how the best of the best people are able to deal with the things that are keeping you from winning. And I guess finally, the only reason why I think it's not being done is because the majority of players are, again, they're like silver, right? The average player is silver. That's what they told us last time. And the only reason why it's not being done is because the sweet, sweet money of little Jimmy Lawnburger is just so good for Blizzard. But yeah, anyways, that's all, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I love you.